Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk Thinker right out here. Not no, but a ghostly white in the pyramids. You know what I do. Let's go. I'm enjoying this. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. The numbers tell me you appreciate what I'm doing. I sure appreciate you tuning in, so I'll give you the best I got. Let's go. Right thinking mission. That's what I'm on. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Oh, I got some good stuff for you coming up. Right thinking is way of life, and that's what it is for me. Is to through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain the goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's the ultimate goal for all of us right thinkers. Me as master want everyone who claim to be a right thinker, follow my philosophy to know how to do just that. Know thyself, and I'm giving you everything I got to do just that. Tune in, I got you. The question I ask every day: do you know yourself? It's rhetorical. And if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not, knows not that they know not, we already know, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake them up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. Into my yacht. Be true. Right thinkers, y'all done messed up. I went in my archives and pulled out big guns. This is considered, this is heavyweight here. Okay, there's so much knowledge in this book right here. I first obtained it over 30 years ago. I didn't understand a thing in there. Now I read it. I got some stuff here for you. That's where we going next. I'm leaving Egypt and taking to another lesson, but it's all based on life lessons. So let's get this lesson started. Right thinking. Let's talk about what we're going to do now. How to achieve self-knowledge, aka spiritual enlightenment. To know thy inner self, aka higher self or God, absolute, whoever you want to call them, but we're going to learn how to achieve that. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm not taking you to Egypt to show you how they dress. No, I'm telling you how they think, how they live, so you can do the same thing. Why? They did pretty good for over 3,000 years. That's why. So I ain't got time for a whole bunch of other stuff about Egypt. I can care less. So understand that I teach concepts, philosophical points of views. So let's do what we do. I got my book here and I got my own stuff. I'm starting with my own stuff. It says read this first. So I just got finished. The last lesson I did was about the Katha Upanishads concept of the chariot driver and who you are, what you're about. They broke it down really nice. So, but the idea they were getting across to you was the Katha Upanishad stresses what the need to have the right thinking, aka proper chain of command of your thoughts, wherein you train your senses, control your intellect, your mind to what? Think right. And by doing that, you're able to what? Obey the dictates of what? Your soul, your heart, aka Maya. And what'll happen? When the heart and mind thinks as one, in harmony as one, you will achieve self-knowledge, aka or enlightenment, or my favorite, nihas. That only can happen if you put the work in to make that happen. It don't just, nope, you got to put the work in. So when you get that level, you earned it. Now let's talk about how you can do it. This is my favorite part. The mind Now remember, consciousness is what God is all. He gave us a brain to be conscious. That's what man has that no other animal has, and that's what makes us one with our creator. He gave us the ability to recognize that fact. A lot of us don't. It's okay. He know that, so understand that. Those who know will go. Those who don't will stay. Philosophically, if you understand that, then yeah, those who do what they need to do, go on. Those who don't, stay here and get to do it over again. If you're a golf player, it's called a mulligan, or we refer to it as reincarnation. Let's go. The mind is a higher reality than what? The waking world. Consider that without the mind, there can be what? No experience. And even the healthiest body, as well as the most enjoyable objects a person can desire, are of no use. Therefore, the mind is a higher reality. I'll break it down for you. We're getting good. This book says thinking and destiny. It's all about what's between the ears. So get ready. This is why mental experiences are what? Are more intense than experiences in the waking world. What they're saying is in your dream world, which is Aborigines and Native Americans say that's the real world. Why? Because you don't need the physical body to go there. It's all mental. It's all spiritual. It's all mindset. So if you are mindful and understanding of that, you will be comfortable. Why? Because the thoughts that you have in the dream world is the most realest part. This physical world, not so much. They're trying to get you to realize that. A lot of us think, well, I'm dreaming. Yeah, nothing comes to a dream but a dream. But those dreams are messages and signals if you learn to pay attention because it's all mental. So let's get back to the lesson. Sorry about that. But watch this. Therefore, however, the witnessing consciousness is the higher than the mind. Why? Because the mind emanate from it. Our higher self, which we know God to be all conscious. Why? Because He already got everything laid out. And you as an individual, your stuff already laid out, or you got to just figure it out. That's what He gave you conscious brain. That's why He gave the brain to become conscious of who you are and know Him. Through spiritual practice of right thinking philosophy and daily meditation, what happens? It is possible to what? Discover the witnessing self, God, or and then to what? Transcend the mind. In order for you to know God, you got to know yourself because it's all mental. And the action that you put in by thinking and doing right will make it all work for you. That's the manifestation of mental concept. You put it manifested for yourself in the physical form. So therefore, understand this. The self, again, is highest of all. Inner self, the self, Nebuchadnezzar, Amen, whatever you want to call it, but that's the highest level. Watch this. And there is absence of what? At that level, desires of the flesh, pain to the flesh, ignorance of the mind, etc. See, we're going with this. This is because why? Enlightenment to what? Your true self, higher self, has done what? Eradicated all ignorance. So you become all knowing. With knowledge of self, you are all knowing. Moving on. This is because what? Why? Excuse me. This is without ignorance. What's this? Which is there cannot be what? Delusions or desires, but what? Only fulfillment side, which is SI. It means fulfillment is side. Then you got contentment. That's me. MEHT. We know that's me hurt, the full one, the mighty one. But we get to that in a minute. But this is contentment. That's what it means. She's part of that. And my favorite, Hotep, means peace, supreme peace. That means you're at peace within, not at peace, no, at peace within yourself. That's Hotep. Without desire, what's happening? And delusions cannot be frustration. You cannot have anger. You will not have hatred or greed, etc. All those egoistic sectarian qualities are wiped away when you raise your conscious level and become conscious of yourself. Thus, you are considered an Akus, which is an enlightened being, aka thus an enlightened sage. That's what it says in the book. Lives what? Here we go. Now we get into my area. This is what I practice, and this is what I know, because this is what I learned a long time ago, and I know that it works. Here we go. Let's go. The enlightened sage lives how? Eternally on what? The transcendental plane. I think on another level. While what? His or her body continues to exist here on the physical plane. The spirit is designed, symbolized by the falcon. Why? It's the fastest, baddest thing going. Trust me. Do your homework. Find out about the peregrine falcon. He a bad man. Okay, he flies so fast that his prey, he just punches upside the head and knock you out and come and get you before you hit the ground. But do some due diligence. Find out why we use him as the symbol of spirit. That's my point. Moving on. But trust me, we had symbology down to a science in an art form. I'm gonna bring that to you like as we go on too. Where we at? So now I'm living mentally up here, but physically I'm right here amongst you. And that Jesus would say, you be amongst them or live with them, but nothing. I'm of the world. I'm in the world, but I ain't of the world. Why? I done raised my conscious level. I live at a different level. That's what sages do. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. That's what a sage do. When you hear the word sage, you can substitute me, because that's what I do for you. Now, in essence, watch this. The dreamless state, the dreamless sleep state, is a negative experience. Why? Because while you're there in non-duality, there is what? Also absence of lucidity, meaning you're not aware. You're in the dreamless state. So it don't serve you. The difference between the enlightened sage state of dreamless state is what? That when you are in that dreamless sleep state, you are not aware of the non-duality and the vast expansion of consciousness. Why? You become one with it. While there is no mentation, which is what? There is no wisdom. If ain't nothing mental going on, you got no wisdom. If you ain't thinking, you ain't doing nothing. But when the transcendental experience, when you make that connection with God for yourself of enlightenment occurs, watch this. There is an experience and conscious awareness of the oneness of existence where you and God become one. I'm trying to drive that point home because when you have your own God experience, the but God moment, mystical experience, whatever, enlightened moment, nihas, it's going to change your life. It's a life-changing experience. And once you get there, you want to, it's like getting high. I've been high since 2013 off of God. Try that drug. You want to get high? Get high for God. I'm gone. Okay, off of God consciousness, not God fanaticism. Just want to get your concept. The illusion, which most ignorant people is under, the illusion was this of the mind, the dream of the world. What happens? It dissolves back into the what? The primordial ocean of what? Infinite consciousness, from which creation originally arose. Again, primeval water consciousness, the known, everything comes from there, and if it's good when it come here, if it get done right, it can go back. That's called heaven. Okay, this is the consciousness perception of what? A liberated sage. I'm just saying, endowed with what? Spiritual enlightenment, aka knowledge of self, self-knowledge. Practice spiritual truth, manifest them for yourself, and you become what? The enlightened sage. You will perceive yourself, him or her, as that of the primeval God, the primordial God, who rose out of the primeval waters, aka the known, with what? The original thought of from the heart to the mind and spoke itself into existence. We do the same thing now. We feel it, we think it, and we manifest it by speaking it, and then we physically do it. We in the image. It's the same thing. Animals can't do that. And what's this? And the entire creation as that same primordial ocean, we conceive and perceive that. He or she understands what? That through the primordial ocean appears to have changed into multiplicity of things and variety, shapes, and objects. Watch this, in creation, but in reality, it never did truly undergo any irreversible transformation. Whatever comes in can come back. What is seen as what? The world to the unenlightened mind, a lot of us, but that's what I'm trying to help you enlighten yourself. So you'll see it the same way most of us enlightened see it. To the unenlightened mind is what is viewed as the movement of who? Ra, the sun, as it transverses through the ocean of consciousness, the sky, as well as what? The manifestation of who? The hidden essence of Amun, which underlies all existence. That's the spirit that's in everything. Amen. The hidden one. We know that. The heart. I keep telling you, God dwells in the heart of man. He had to hide himself. Not up high, not down low, right in plain sight. A lot of us still looking for him everywhere but here. Go inside. That's where he is. I keep telling you that. It's not going to change, but that's a fact. You can debate it, argue. No, it's a waste of time. It's a fact. Moving on. The heart of the self is what? All knowing. Why? And compassionate. Isn't that what you said about God? He's always forgiving, merciful. Come on now, we don't make that up. It's passed down, and the concept names may change, but it's still the same thing. Understand that? So the Ka, which is K-A-U, which is the images, reflections of creation. Heka, remember Heka, words of power. Ka is you performing the power. So you are the reflections of creation of what? The divine are in, or you are part of his consciousness. Why? The self is the source of what? The life-giving essence. We know in Egypt it was the Nile River, the breath of life. We know as Shu. They labeled everything way before we got here. And Shu is the male aspect of the spirit, and the fertile moistness of what? Tefnut, which is the female, which is creation, or its essence. From him came two. They became three. Wait a minute, his right eye is the eye. His right eye is day. His left eye is night. This is part of God. He is what? The leader of faces on every path. His body, the noon, again, potential, chaotic, potential for everything. The dweller in it is what? The Nile, producing the Egypt wouldn't survive without the Nile River, so it's considered the gods giving life to them. The water that supplied everybody up and down Egypt in that area, okay, producing what? Everything that is, and doing what? Nourishing all that was. He breathed. He breathes breath into all nostrils. Ain't that the concept that y'all say God molded that from the man? Did he blew the breath of life in us? Didn't make that up either. We got that covered too. We got an image where we showing reciprocity. One breathe out the breath of life, and he sucks it in, and then he breathes it back out. He sucked it in. One guy tried to tell me that's a gay thing. No, my man, you really read that wrong. His name was somebody, but he called himself the gay astrologer. But he got that wrong. I know that, but he tried to put it off to satisfy his gay people to make it seem like even the guys in Egypt was gay. No. Moving on. Sorry about that. Get back. Now, the day and night are prime examples of what? The principle of what? Pairs of opposite. The yin and the yang, male and female. We started it. Just that y'all prefer the yin and the yang. Okay, that's fine, but male and female is the same thing. They also refer to the sun and the moon, male, female, sun being male, moon being female, which are what? The cosmic symbols used throughout the world. Okay, to what? Convey the idea of totality and the all-encompassingness of who? The supreme divinity, God. In this aspect, the sun represents spirit, God, the cosmic mind, who is what? The originator and the sustainer of creation. They worship the sun. Why? Because without that, we got nothing, and we still should respect and worship it, but it ain't God. God is one of the phases. The moon symbolizes what? The lower mind, which is a reflection of the light of consciousness. Thus, is saying that our moon contains what? Both day and night, is to say that the non-dual self is the source of pairs of opposites. It started with him. Trust me. Well, the self is the true identity, okay, of all beings in every walk of life. The body of the self is what? The waters of consciousness. New. Again, the body. We telling you, we trying to break it down symbolically so you can understand it and grasp it. I'm about to wrap it up with this one. The consciousness, the body is the known, and everything is what? A manifestation of what? Consciousness. It is the same self who what? Enlivens the self in the form of what? Creation. Breathe breath into what? All nostrils, just as water is wet and moistens everything it touches. The self is creation and gives life to everything it's in. Bada boom, bada bam. I got some good information coming up with Thinking of Destiny, but for now, let's end that lesson. It's time to go. I'll be back.